Have you ever wondered why some days feel effortless? As if everything flows, your mind is clear, and inspiration comes naturally, while other days feel heavy, no matter how hard you try to stay positive. There's a scientific explanation for this, rooted in quantum physics and neurobiology, and understanding it can completely change how you experience your own energy. High vibration isn't just a random mood or something you can force with willpower alone. It's a coherent state, a measurable, tangible quality of your biofield that arises when your thoughts, emotions, and physiology align. And this alignment isn't just for spiritual masters or monks in distant monasteries. It's available to you here and now if you learn to recognize and nurture it. Most people spend their lives swinging between reaction and resistance. They wake up already tangled in yesterday's worries, replaying the same thoughts that trigger the same emotions, which then produce the same neurochemistry in their bodies. From a quantum perspective, this isn't just a psychological habit, it's a vibrational loop. Your personal energy field constantly emits frequencies, much like a radio signal, and those frequencies interact with the larger quantum field around you, shaping what you notice, how you feel, and what experiences manifest in your reality. In this video, you'll learn why maintaining a high vibration isn't about faking happiness or ignoring your emotions. Instead, it's about creating coherence between your mind, heart, and nervous system. Think of it as fine-tuning your internal instrument, so the signal you send out is clear, steady, and strong. This is when the quantum field responds in ways that feel synchronistic, because you've become an observer who no longer scatters attention across conflicting intentions and beliefs. Take a moment now to notice your own energy. Don't try to change it, just observe. How does your body feel as you listen? What thoughts linger in the back of your awareness? Is there tension in your chest or a subtle sense of openness? This simple act of non-judgmental observation starts to shift your state. It disrupts the automatic patterns that keep your vibration stuck in familiar, often limiting cycles. And it opens the door to something new, the emergence of a coherent signal that the quantum field can recognize and reflect. Here's something you may not have considered. You don't lose your high vibration all at once. It doesn't disappear in a single moment of stress or disappointment. Instead, it dissolves in small steps through micro choices to react instead of respond, to tense up instead of breathe, to replay old stories instead of witnessing them. When you grasp this, you start reclaiming your power, because if your vibration weakens through tiny moments of unconsciousness, it can also be restored through small moments of awareness. Research in neurocardiology shows that the human heart generates an electromagnetic field far stronger than the brain's. When you're in emotional coherence, when your heart rhythms are harmonious and synced with your breath, you're literally radiating a more ordered, higher frequency field around your body. This isn't just poetic, it's measurable. Scientists can track this shift in real time. And when you maintain this state, even briefly, it shifts your biochemistry, soothes your nervous system, and changes how your brain processes information. In other words, you start perceiving reality through a different lens, one that's less reactive and more creative. So why does this matter? Because the quantum field doesn't just respond to your words, it responds to your entire signal. You might affirm abundance in your thoughts, but if your body vibrates with stress and lack, the signal you're sending is mixed. And in quantum terms, a mixed signal creates random, unstable outcomes, often the ones you're hoping to avoid. This is why so many people feel drained after trying to stay positive. They're battling themselves energetically. What you'll learn here is how to stop that inner struggle, not by burying emotions or faking positivity, but by realizing your power comes from returning to alignment over and over. This isn't about perfection. It's about honing the skill of noticing when you drift from coherence and gently guiding yourself back. With time, this becomes your natural state, a steady, elevated vibration that no longer needs perfect conditions to hold. If you've ever wondered why some people radiate calm confidence and attract opportunities effortlessly, this is why. They've learned to sustain a coherent field. They don't just think differently, they feel and embody a different frequency. And because the quantum field is interactive, because your attention, your feeling, and your intention all shape reality, your personal vibration is the most crucial factor you can influence. In the next parts of this video, we'll explore how to train your nervous system to sustain a higher frequency, why a simple morning routine can define your entire day, and how to spot the subtle signs you're entering energetic alignment. Stay tuned, because by the end, you'll have more than just an idea. You'll feel what it means to be the calm witness of your own vibration, and that, more than any affirmation or method, is what lets you build a life that reflects your highest frequency. If you're still listening, it means something in you already senses that vibration isn't just a mood. It's the language your whole being uses to speak to the quantum field. This isn't philosophy, it's physics. Let's start with a principle most people never learn. Everything you experience exists as a probability until your observation solidifies it. In quantum mechanics, this is called wave function collapse. Until you focus on a possibility, it remains pure potential. The act of observing, combined with your emotional energy, selects an outcome and locks it into your reality. This isn't just positive thinking. It's an interaction between consciousness and space-time itself. Consider this: your brain constantly predicts, filters, and constructs what you perceive. Neuroscience confirms that your reality is a controlled hallucination, a model shaped by expectation and memory. But here's what's fascinating. The signals feeding this system don't just come from the mind. They also come from your heart, breath, posture, and the electromagnetic field around your body. This is why changing thoughts alone, without addressing bodily sensations, rarely leads to lasting change. Picture your vibration as a broadcast signal. Every thought emits a frequency. Every emotion adds depth to that frequency. Every action either strengthens or disrupts its coherence. When aligned, you create a stable, resonant field. The quantum field mirrors this coherence, reshaping probabilities in ways that feel synchronistic. That's why you meet the right person, get unexpected help, or feel drawn to actions you'd otherwise miss. But here's the catch. Most people unintentionally sabotage this. They force high vibrations through mantras or suppressing negativity, creating inner conflict, a disconnect between mind and body. You might say, "I am abundant," while your nervous system stays in survival mode. Quantumly, that contradiction adds noise to your signal, scattering focus and blocking your desired outcome. One way to grasp this is through coherence. Research shows that emotions like love, gratitude, and calm create smooth heart rhythms, signaling coherence between heart and brain. Frustration, anxiety, or resentment, however, produce chaotic patterns. This incoherence doesn't just disrupt your mood, it muddles the energy you emit. In this video, you'll learn to spot these shifts. Maintaining a high vibration isn't about forcing positivity. It's about noticing incoherence and gently correcting it, like tuning an instrument. First, recognize when you're out of tune. then adjust. If you're wondering how to start, here's an exercise. Next time you feel tense, whether from stress, conflict, or doubt, pause, focus on your heart. Slow your breath, observe the story your mind is telling. Ask yourself, is this the frequency I want to send out into the world? This small moment of awareness creates a turning point, and each time you choose alignment over reaction, you strengthen your ability to maintain a high vibration, no matter what's happening around you. Let me be clear, this isn't about spiritual bypassing or pretending challenges don't exist. A high vibration isn't denial of reality. It's the ability to stay connected to your core frequency of trust, even as you navigate life's complexities. It's knowing that while you can't always control what happens, you can always choose the energy you emit in response. If this perspective feels different from what you've heard before, if it resonates on a deeper level than just your thoughts, I invite you to stay with me. Because by the end of this, you'll have tools not just to raise your vibration temporarily, but to build a steady, energetic foundation that becomes your default state. And if you're sensing a subtle shift already, a quiet knowing that something within you is starting to remember, just notice that. That awareness is the first sign your energy is becoming more aligned. One of the most overlooked aspects of sustaining a high vibration all day is how you start your morning. The first moments after waking are when your brain waves naturally transition from theta to beta. In this in-between state, your subconscious is still highly open, and your body hasn't yet fully triggered its habitual stress reactions. This window is your most powerful chance to set an aligned tone for your entire day. Many people begin their mornings in immediate reactivity, checking messages, scrolling headlines, replaying yesterday's worries. Without realizing it, they're training their nervous system to fall back into the same predictable patterns that keep their energy scattered. But when you choose to create intentional alignment before engaging with the world, you essentially tune your biofield to broadcast a stable frequency. This isn't just a feel-good ritual. It's a measurable change in the electromagnetic patterns radiating from your heart and brain. In this video, I want to share one foundational practice you can begin tomorrow morning. It's simple, but its effects grow over time. It's called heart coherence breathing, a technique studied extensively by institutions like the HeartMath Institute. The idea is simple. When you slow your breath and focus on your heart, you bring your nervous system into balance. This balance is the physical foundation of high vibration. Here's how to do it. The moment you wake up, before grabbing your phone or getting out of bed, place one hand on the center of your chest. Close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Start by just noticing your breath, without trying to change it. Observe its natural rhythm as it flows in and out. Next, gently slow your breathing to a smooth, even pace. Aim for about 5 seconds inhaling, 5 seconds exhaling. As you continue, imagine you're breathing directly through your heart. Picture each inhale drawing in calm, clear energy, and each exhale releasing tension or static. Once you've settled into this rhythm, bring a nourishing emotion into your awareness. You might focus on gratitude for someone, a memory of safety, or simply being thankful to be alive in this moment. Let this feeling grow in your chest. As you maintain this practice for just 3 to 5 minutes, your heart rhythms begin to sync with your breath. This creates a state called cardiac coherence, a measurable harmonic pattern that stabilizes your entire system. Your brain shifts into more organized waves, your hormones balance, and your electromagnetic field becomes more aligned. In practical terms, you're creating an inner environment where higher frequency states like clarity, resilience and ease are more accessible throughout the day. To fully grasp why this works, let's look at the quantum perspective. Your coherent heart field isn't confined to your body. Studies show it extends several feet outward, interacting with the fields of people and spaces around you. This is why when you enter a room in a calm, centered state, you often notice others reacting to you differently, sometimes without knowing why. It's not charisma, it's coherence. This practice also deeply affects how you handle challenges. When you start the day grounded in heart coherence, you're less likely to fall into automatic stress responses. Instead of reacting with frustration or fear, you're better able to observe situations objectively and respond with creativity. From a quantum perspective, this is how you keep a clear signal, one that continually shapes probabilities into outcomes matching your deeper intention. Remember, this exercise isn't about forcing positivity. It's about creating a physiological state where higher emotions arise naturally. You're not controlling your feelings, you're fostering the conditions for coherence, which then becomes the foundation for a higher vibration. If you're wondering how long it takes to see results, the answer is surprisingly simple. Research shows that just 3 minutes of heart coherence breathing can alter your biochemistry for hours. And the more consistently you practice, the more your nervous system learns to return to this baseline effortlessly, even under pressure. That's why I suggest treating this not as a one-time technique, but as a morning ritual, a way to declare to your body and the quantum field, I choose coherence first. Over time, you'll notice situations that once triggered you lose their grip. You'll feel steadier, clearer, and more connected to what truly matters. In the next part of this journey, we'll explore how to maintain this state as you face daily challenges. Because it's one thing to feel elevated in the quiet of the morning, and another to stay aligned when the day gets chaotic. But you'll discover that with a few subtle adjustments, your coherence can become the most stable force in any environment. Stay with me. The field is always responding, and the signal you send today shapes the reality of tomorrow. It's one thing to start your morning in a high vibration state, but as time passes, most people feel their coherence slipping. Emails pile up, unexpected problems arise, and others' energy affects yours. Without a strategy to navigate these shifts, you'll unconsciously revert to old reactive habits. That's why sustaining your vibration isn't about avoiding stress. It's about mastering the skill of returning to alignment quickly, no matter what happens. You might be surprised to learn that some of the biggest shifts in your field come not from major decisions, but from small, in-between moments. Neuroscience calls these state shifts the subtle changes in your body, breath, and focus as you transition between tasks. The key is training yourself to recognize when you've lost coherence and having simple tools to regain it. Imagine, for instance, you're working on a project and receive unexpected criticism. In that moment, your heartbeat will quickly become uneven, your breath might tighten, and your thoughts will likely race to defend or justify. From a quantum perspective, this is when your signal gets distorted, when the field picks up a scattered broadcast of fear, frustration, and tension. This isn't something you can force your way through with willpower alone, but you can break the cycle with awareness. One of the simplest techniques is called the micro reset. It doesn't require privacy, special tools, or anyone else's approval. Here's how it works. The instant you notice tension, pause whatever you're doing, relax your shoulders, feel your body's weight held by the chair or the ground. Take a slow, deliberate breath, letting your exhale last longer than your inhale. Then bring your focus back to your heart and briefly recall the feeling you nurtured in your morning practice, whether it was gratitude, calm, or openness. This small move does something profound. It stops the stress hormone cascade and helps bring back the steady, even heart rhythm that tells your brain you're safe. You're not pretending to feel good. You're just stepping out of the reaction loop long enough to remember who you are when you're not in fight or flight mode. Over time, these micro resets create a new default, a nervous system wired to return to balance more quickly and easily. There's another key to maintaining a high vibration: how you direct your attention. Most people let their focus get stolen all day. Notifications, conversations, replaying old moments in your head. Every time your focus slips, you lose energy. That's why, even on days when nothing goes wrong, you can feel drained by nightfall. You've weakened your field by splitting your awareness. To fix this, try practicing single-task presence. When you're working, just work. When you're eating, just eat. When you're talking to someone, be fully there. This focus habit not only saves energy, but trains your brain to maintain the stable patterns linked to coherence. From a quantum view, it sharpens your signal and helps draw in experiences that match your chosen frequency. You might also find it useful to add small daily rituals, anchors that remind you to realign. For example, every time you wash your hands, take one mindful breath and silently say, "I am energy." Every time you move between spaces, pause at the door and take a second to feel grateful for the chance to reset your vibration. These tiny rituals seem too simple to matter, but over time, they reshape your automatic reactions and make coherence your natural state. Remember, you don't have to stay perfectly calm all day. You only need to notice when you've drifted and choose to return. This is the key difference between people who maintain a high vibration and those who feel trapped by their circumstances. The former don't avoid challenges. They build the ability to recalibrate again and again. So, before we move to the next part of this journey together, I'd love for you to try this practice right now. Take a moment to ground the intention you've been nurturing. In the comments, simply write, "I am energy." This isn't just a phrase, it's a declaration to your own energy field, a choice to become an intentional observer of your reality. When you type those words, feel them in your body. Let them be a small but potent act of alignment, one the quantum field will recognize and reflect in ways you may not anticipate. Stay with me, because next we'll explore how to safeguard your energy from outside influences, how to create a field around you that not only sustains your vibration, but amplifies it, no matter where you are. By now, you've started to see that high vibration isn't something you reach once and keep forever. It's an ongoing practice, but there's another layer we must address if you want to maintain this frequency daily: protection. Not as defense against some external threat, but as the cultivation of a stable, coherent field around you that naturally filters out what doesn't resonate with your chosen state. From a quantum perspective, this isn't mystical, it's measurable. Every living system emits an electromagnetic field, and the human heart produces the strongest of all. This field extends beyond your body, interacting with the energy of your environment. When your heart field is coherent, meaning your emotions, breath, and nervous system are in sync, it forms an energetic boundary. People sense it, situations respond to it, and without needing to armor up in fear, you naturally repel what doesn't match your vibration. So how do you create this protection deliberately? One of the most powerful methods is visualization paired with body awareness. Try this with me now as you listen. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Bring your focus to your heart. Breathe slowly and evenly, just as we practiced earlier. With each inhale, Imagine drawing golden light into your heart, a warm, radiant energy that fills and fortifies you. With each exhale, feel this light expand, forming a glowing field around your entire body. See this golden energy as a living shield, not a barrier, but a dynamic, intelligent field that welcomes what serves you and gently redirects what doesn't. As you hold this image, notice any sensations. You might feel warmth in your chest or a subtle tingling in your hands. This isn't imagination. Your body is responding because your nervous system and biofield react to your focus and intention. And from a quantum view, what you consistently focus on begins to shape reality itself. Your coherent protective field becomes a tangible influence, not just on how you feel, but on how reality responds to you. This practice does more than just create a sense of safety. It shifts the way you interact with the world. You'll notice that stressful situations lose their grip on you. The emotional chaos of others becomes easier to observe without taking it in. You become, in a very real way, a stabilizing presence in any environment. Science backs this in fascinating ways. Research on heart rate variability and electromagnetic field coherence shows that people in heart-centered states affect those around them, even at a distance. Your coherent field acts like a tuning fork, nudging others' systems to sync with yours. This is why the most grounded person in a room often sets the emotional tone without saying a word. And here's the key. This protection doesn't come from trying to block or resist the world. It comes from cultivating such a clear, steady inner signal that anything chaotic simply flows past you. You're not bracing against life. You're radiating in a way that makes disruptive frequencies irrelevant to your state. Try bringing this visualization into moments of transition before a meeting, entering a crowded space, or even during your commute. It only takes a breath or two to reconnect with that golden field, and the ripple effect is profound. Over time, you'll find that what once drained you now slips by unnoticed. What once sparked reactivity now meets your calm. In the next part of this journey, we'll tie it all together. You'll experience a simple guided exercise to anchor your high vibration as a tangible reality. And you'll get an invitation to keep nurturing this field within a living, conscious community. Let's keep going. Your coherence isn't just a gift to yourself, it's an offering to the world. Now that you've learned how to elevate and protect your vibration, the key step is to weave it all into a simple, embodied practice. Something you can return to whenever reactivity or doubt creeps in. Because high vibration isn't something you reach and then ignore. It's something you nurture moment by moment, breath by breath. To help you lock this in, I'll guide you through a short exercise. If possible, settle into a comfortable seat where you won't be disturbed for the next few minutes. If you're listening while multitasking, no problem. Just let your attention rest lightly on these words and notice what arises. Close your eyes or simply soften your gaze. Place one hand over the center of your chest, resting it near your heart. Take a slow breath in through your nose, feeling your belly rise. Exhale softly through your mouth, letting go of any tightness in your shoulders or jaw. Keep this even, rhythmic breathing as you allow your focus to settle into your body. Now picture the golden field you created earlier, a luminous, glowing energy around you. See it growing with each inhale, becoming clearer and more vibrant. With each exhale, sense it solidifying into a living, protective presence that stays with you wherever you are. As you hold this vision, silently say to yourself, I am the observer, I am the field, I am the frequency. Let these words resonate, not as ideas, but as a felt truth within your body. You are not apart from the quantum field. You are part of it, a distinct expression of consciousness, shaping possibility into reality. The energy you choose now isn't just personal, it's a signal that influences what comes next. Stay here for a few more breaths, tuning into the steadiness of your own energy. Notice any shifts, a quiet calm, warmth, or gentle expansion. There's no right or wrong way to experience this. Just observing is enough. When you're ready, slowly open your eyes. See if your awareness feels different, maybe clearer, softer, or more grounded. This is coherence. This is high vibration in motion. And this is the invitation I offer you. Keep coming back to this practice, not to chase perfection or force positivity, but because the more you choose alignment over reaction, the more natural this state becomes. In time, you won't need to try to stay uplifted. You'll just be. Before we finish, remember you're not doing this alone. There's a growing community of people exploring where science and consciousness meet. People ready to engage with the quantum field as active creators, not bystanders. If something stirred in you today, a spark of recognition, resonance, or even just curiosity, I'd love to welcome you into this space. Subscribing isn't just about more content, it's joining a shared field of intention and exploration, a place to deepen your practice, ask questions, and connect with others choosing coherence. If this calls to you, I'd be honored to share it with you.